Good, good day, everyone. We are the group 4, and we will be discussing about the basic measurement theory. What is measurement? Measurement is the estimation of information about a state or phenomenon. Measurement comes from the Greek word metron, which means limited edition. It is done by comparison of measured value with known standard quantity of same kind. So what is measurement theory? Measurement theory is the formal and logical theory of necessary and sufficient conditions of attributing measures to objects or events. So in simple terms, measurement theory is the study of measurement. It is like a set of rules and guidelines that help us decide when and how to assign numerical values. Next, next is the fundamental theory of measurement. This method of measurement is based on comparison, and the means of measurement are the standards and the scales. The unit of measurable quantity has to be appropriately defined by degree of mathematical representation and by the accuracy, reliability, and constancy. In this method of measurement, we figure out the size of something by comparing it to known standards and using scales. Accuracy, reliability, and consistency of the measurement are in this method. Why to measure? The purpose of measurement is to regulate, control, or alter the surroundings. The results of this regulating control can be tested and compared to the desired results and corrections that demonstrate the value of certain objects. So measuring is important because it helps in making precise comparisons and communicating information more effectively. So there are two general main goals of measurement. These are the accuracy and precision. Measurement measurement scales. If a thing exists, it exists in some amount. If it exists in some amount, it can be measured by E.L. Thorndike, 1914. This quote emphasizes the idea that anything that has a physical existence may be measured. So there are four types of measurement scales. These are the nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, and ratio scale. Nominal scale. Two things are given, the number, not repeated twice or symbols, if they have the same value of their kind. We can't predict the quantity or quality by just looking at the numbers. So this nominal scale is a measurement scale that groups responses into categories based on similarities or differences. So ang ilang measurement value murag nahimo sila tag or label nga mo group or mo classify sa mga objects. Example, hair colors, nationality, marital status. Second is the ordinal scale. It is also known as ranking scale. It gives little but not so accurate information about the characteristics of the objects. Also, this scale is commonly used by market researchers for ranking questions. They can be used to order data points from least to greatest or vice versa. Example, grading system in educational sector. So, we all know ang grade A kay mao'y pinakataas or top nga kanang sa ranking sa grading system sa eskwelahan. Then ang second is a grade B. Next,
For the third type of scale is interval scale. When we say interval scale is a type of measurement not only classifies and orders the measurements, but it also specifies that the between each interval on the scales. The classical example of an interval scale is Celsius temperature because the difference between each value is same. An interval scales in statistics and research that possesses all the characteristics of an ordinal scales, but with an additional feature, the intervals between adjacent points on the scales are equally meaningful and consistent. In other words, the differences between values are meaningful and can be quantified, but there is no true zero point. When we say interval scales po, kay kada data po kay nana sila interval kung pilay interval nasa between the two data. Example, the difference between 20 and 40 degrees is same as difference between 70 and 19 degrees. The difference between the two of them are 20 degrees. Okay, next slide please. The ratio scale. It is the last type of scale, and the differences and ratio between the numbers reflect differences and ratios of the attribute. It is the most informative scale. It is an interval scale with an additional property that its zero position indicates the absence of the quantity being measured. You can think of a ratio scales as the three earlier scales rolled up in once. Measurement of height, weight are the best examples. Okay, we will say ratio scales kaya mao na siya ay pinaka informative type na scales, mao na siya ay pinaka klaro na type of scales other the three kaysa sa tulo. Kaning ratio scales gyud kay bisag asa gyud ni na larangan or field gyud magamit gyud ni ang ratio scales. And also in we don't have equal intervals between degrees like the Celsius scale, but it also have a true zero point known as the absolute zero. Absolute zero, it is the point in which the molecular motion, theoretical CC temperature cannot go below this point. Okay. Common example of ratio scales are height, weight, distance, and income. We will say height good kanang mga karang height sa tao, height sa mga butang, height sa mga hayop, o uban pa upilay height ana nila. Kaduha is weight. Kanang kung sa gyud kabugaton sa usa ka tawo or sa ka object kana. Example, weight sa tao, weight sa hayop, weight sa mga butang na kailangan nila, kung pila kay weight ang kailanganan nila. Kanang height ug weight magyud na sila inter relations ana nila. Karon aron basihan nila kung kung okay ra imong body mass nimo or sobra-sobra pa or napay gamay na kuwang para ma-normal or or sobra or imo na ibanan para ma daot gyud ka. And type of next example for that one is the income. Kung we will say income gyud kay we will say income gyud kung pilay madawatan. Kung pilay madawatan sa usa ka tawo, sample kung unsay yung work na inyong gitrabahoan, kung unsay imong profession imong gikuha, lalahi gyud ang income ang kada profession na imong madawatan, lalahi na income imong madawatan depende na sa klase sa profession na inyong gitrabahoan. Not just for that one po, and also kung ikaw ay scholar, example scholar ni Prasco, lain-lain gyud ang mga amount na inyong madawatan depende sa inyong pangangailangan. And asasad sa other LGU scholars kung nanay scholars. And lastly is the distance. Kung distance kay we will say distance kay it is a time travel or distansya kung gikan sa usa ka lugar padong sa lain lugar. Sample, distansya gikan sa kwarto padong sa kusina or kanang practical na natong gamito kanang gamiton gikan sa barangay Yate padong sa barangay Sabang or gikan sa barangay Yate padong sa Cebu City. Mao na siya example sa ratio scale. Next slide please. For the relation among scales po kay na sila relation between sa least accurate o sa most accurate nila. Kung unsa kung pilay accuracy ana about ana nila kung pilay distansya ana nila pilay ligtas ana nila same as the precisely least precisely o most precisely. Ang kaning relations aning nilang upat atong kuan yun. Okay. We will say ato sarang kumparahon nato sila usa-usa. We will say nominal o ordinal. We will say nominal man gyud kay lack of order. We will say akong katong example gani ha. Ang focus na lang nominal gyud kay mga characteristics. Example, kanang nationality, hair color, marital status. While the ordinal skills gyud kay focus na siya sa mga order. Sample, kung ikapila gyud ka na mga ranking gyud gada kuan ba? Sample, kung ikapila sample kung ikapila ka ba or kung pila ka sa klase or sample. Sample, kung sa elect gamit ra kay ni siya ang kaning ordinal skills sa sample sa mga quiz ball, sa other contest, sample sa mga elections. Kung kapila sample, kung ikapila ka sa quiz ball, kung pila ka points sa ligas anas, kung sa election pa na kakapila ka sa ranking pagkakonsihal, kung madapa ka or di inana ba. Mo na siya pero both of them are categorical. Ordinal versus interval ratio as said a while ago sa ordinal kay consistent order na siya pero kuwang siya og interval. May say interval man gyud kay ligas nila sa between sa usa. Nakalimot ko gingon example sa interval. Ang another example sa interval kana mga ratings. Example, ratings sa product sa online shopping, example, ratings sa mga sini na mo paliton mo nimo sa Shopee pila kay rating sana kung 4.9 over 5 ba na 4.8 tapos sa pagkaonan kung pila rating sa ning kwan kaning do-order dito sa syudad nara nila kung pila ilang gi-rate ana nila ang mo na siya ikuan sa interval. And lastly, the interval versus ratio pareho sila gyapon interval ang kaning ratio gina sila itro 0. Kaning ratio yun, klaro na kayo. As a while I said, ganiha, example na katong, common example, height, the weight, the income, and the distance. Kada example ano nila na sila ay interrelationship na para mabuhat, para magbuhat na kung okay pa na ba or dili. Mo na siya ay relation sa skills nilang upat. Okay, next slide.
So, term use and measurements. Validity. So, kaning validity ay is crucial in ensuring that conclusion drawn from tests or research are meaningful and reliable, making it essential concept in various fields such as psychology, education, sociology, and many others. Then there are 7 types of measurements of validity. So first is next. So first is kaning external validity. So unsa man kani siya external validity? So external validity is the extent to which you can generalize the findings of a study to other situations, people, settings, and measures. And the second is internal. So internal validity is defined as the extent to which the observed results represent the truth in the population we are studying and thus are not due to methodological errors. Then ang ikatulo is next palihog. So ikatulo is content validity. So makita nyo no nga kung gisulti is wala diha, it's because ang nadiri is mo na ang meaning and ang akong istorya is the ako ang pagsabot nga unsaon ako pag share sa inyo ha. So the third is consent validity no. So consent validity Content validity refers to the extent to which a measure represents all facts of a given construct. For example, a depression. So, kaning depression dahil no kay mo gitaon sa ginisya no. So, depression scale may lack content validity if it only assesses the affective dimension of depression but fails to take into account the behavioral dimension. Then, the face validity is about whether a test appears to measure what it's supposed to measure. This type of validity is concerned in whether a measure seems relevant and appropriate for its assessing only on the surface. Then the 5x. Then ay kalima din no is predictive validity ay kaunom ang criteria validity. So predictive validity refers to the ability of a test or other measurement to predict a future outcome. Here, an outcome can be a behavior, performance, or even disease that occurs at some point in the future. Then, the criteria validity, or known as criterion validity, ay criterion-related validity. So, muna siya, no? So, evaluates how accurately a test measured that outcome it was designed at measure. And outcome can be a disease, behavior, or performance. Uh, Concurrent validity measure tests and criterion validities in the present, while predictive validity measures those in the future. Then lastly is the construct validity. Next, paliw. So, kaning construct validity concern the extent to which your test or measure accurately assesses what it's supposed to. So, it's important to operationalize construct into concrete and measurable characteristic based on your idea of the construct and its dimension. Then next. So, reliability. So, the quality of being trustworthy or performing consistency. Well, a specific measure is considered to be reliable if its application of the same object of measurement number of times produces the same result. So, it is directly related and to accurate measurement. So, consistency and stability of the results of measurements over the time, indicating the dependability and trustworthiness of the data. Then the precision is the condition or fact being exact and accurate. Precise measurement in the type of measurement that nearly has the same value each time with its measure. So the degree of exactness, the consistency in repeated measurement or value, emphasizing narrow margins or errors or deviation. So muna diha ang mga reliability, precision, and the types of validity. So more tong ako. So next page.
So continue sa terms used in measurements. So accuracy. So the quality or state being correct or precise. It is a measure of reliability or accurate measurement is said when the difference between true value and the most probable value is minimum. It is inversely related to errors. So ang accuracy is in the context of measurements refers to how close a measured value is to the true or accepted value. So it indicates the degree of correctness or precision in a measurement. So if a measurement is accurate, so it means that the result is very close to the actual or expected value. So example ani is when you have a ruler, then mag example nagkuan karon measured ka sa usa ka frame. So if ang ruler is has 11, I think 11 na siya ka inches. So if the frame is kanang 11 point, so ang true day nga measurement sa frame is 11.5, so ang ruler is 11 naman. So wala gini mo exact nakuha ang measurement sa usa ka frame, so muna gitawag nga accuracy. So next is resolution. So it is the smallest interval measured by an instrument. So ang resolution is the smallest increment or unit of measurement that can be distinguished by a measuring instrument. It represents the instrument's ability to detect fine details. So, example aning resolution is balik ta sa um, usa ka balik ta sa um, sa kiluhan. So if di ba ang kiluhan naman ay mga kung sa di pa kabot ang sa kilo na man ay mga grams na nga na mga line di nga nakakuan if ito ibutang nga wala na siya kanang line di nga gagmay like kanang sa 1/2 kilo or 1/4 na so ang sample na sa at kanang mag dili sa kabot sa timbang nimo sa kabutang di sa kabot sa usa kilo so maglibog ka og unsa na kung pila na sa ka kilo kanang butanga so if tungod sa naman ay mga kanang line diha like 1/2 1/4 so mo nay timbang nimo sa usa ka butang so makuha na nimo ang exact nga kilo niya so in um, in basic measurement theory no so resolution is about how much detail or precision na makuha nimo sa in measuring so higher resolution means you can measure smaller or finer things accurately so next so measurement errors so measurement error is the difference between a measured quantity and its true value so ang measurement errors refer to the discrepancies or inaccuracies that may occur between the observed or measured value of a quantity and the actual or accepted value. So no measurement is perfectly exact and various factors can contribute to errors in the measurement process. So these errors can be classified into two main types is there are systematic errors and random errors. So ang types of measurement errors is sa systematic errors there are two types which is instrument errors and environmental errors so adito sa instrument errors so ang instrument errors induced by faulty instruments so we can solve this error by calibration once in a while so example ng instrument errors is so example ani is digital thermometer so kung bisan wala ka nag-measure no kung ibutan ng digital thermometer bisan sa ang diha is mo measure gyud no so mo na gitawag nga instrumental error so kanang wala nimo sa mismo sa instrument niya ba nga magbutbut bitaw kanang kuan bitaw like sa kung example digital thermometer bisag wala kay gi-measure diha nga wala kay gi-measure diha pero still mag reading gyapon siya so next is the environmental errors so these errors are induced by external conditions of the instruments so this may be due to pressure temperature humidity or due to magnetic fields so example sa environmental errors is kanang like nagkuan ka kanang like nakay kanang toy diha nga kanang pang drag racing so imong nagkuan ka imong gitest siya kung unsa siya ka paspason ang dagan sa imong toy car but tungod sa pero ang imong mga palibot is ba kay mga manghod karon nga saba kay nimo or tungod sa kainit ba sa panahon nga init kaayo well ga-measure ka sa imong toy car kung unsa ka kusgon nya yung manghod pa dia or mama mo si pangsaba or sige yaw dia so imagine kung mag-measure ka na di ba di gini mo makuha ang exact niya nga kakusgon sa imong toy car tungod kay nay so, init ba kay diha or kanang kasabaan kasi yung mama so mo na yung mga examples environmental errors kanang mo involved na ang environment so dili ka kaayo kakuhaan na sa measurement sa niya so next
So next is for the continuation of types of measuring errors in systematic errors. Observational errors. These types of errors occurs due to the wrong observation or reading in the instrument. The wrong observation may be due to the parallax. So, sa observational errors it refers to inaccuracy or discrepancies that occurs in observations made during experiments, data collection, or measurements. These errors can arise due to various factors. So, I have some example for this. Can you please sa next slide, Joy? Uh, ay katong usa ka kuan gisen na ako, Joy. PPT. Na kana. Thank you. Sige, next slide, Joy, please. So, thank you. So, there are example observational errors. So, as you can see nga when we look at the breaker from the above eye level kaning first kaning sa my left and write down the so makita nato nga ang volume kay 40 ml when in reality when we look at the eye level we can see nga the liquid has a volume of 42 ml. So makita yun nato ang accuracy ana nga dili kayo sila lagyo nga ang sa observational error kay it magbase ra siya or it based on our observation nga kung sayop atong pag-observe sa experiment or sa pagkuha sa iyang volume, so dito na mo occur ang error. So ibalik ko atong nga slide, Joy. Thank you. So next is the procedural error. So procedural error occurs due to faulty measurement process and may occur due to the lack of understanding of the process of measurement. Excessive indentation during axial length measurement may result in shorter axial length. So, sa procedural error, kang example ka ng prepared sa pagbuhat na standard solution, mga example, or kaning based sa kanang kuan sa mga experiment like mga errors sa nga mahitabo like misinterpreting instruction or experimental result or kanang making errors while recording the data or observation then or kanang mishandling equipment or incorrect executing step in the experiment process like kanang natay gisunod nga step sa pagkuan sa experiment nga nasayop na tog butang kana dai siya may sunod or like dili na kuan ang step by step process sa atong experimental. So possible nga errors might be happen. So ang procedural error nga kanang na say kanang basic or kanang procedure nga gisunod. So next. So systematic errors sa kuan personal bias last. So differs in the measures done by the different persons. Reading scales from inappropriate direction or distance. So, kaning personal bias in systematic errors kay it refers to the consistent or skewed judgment or interpretation that persistently influence 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 measurement or observation in a particular direction. So next, Joy. So another type of measurement errors kay random errors. So sa random errors kay errors of different magnitude but with a constant sign. These errors can be predicted and hence eventually removed from data. All the remaining errors are of variability and don't obey a systematic flow. They can either be positive or negative. This can be reduced by taking the average of a large number or of readings. So, sa random error kay unlikely sa systematic errors kani siya kay is unpredictable and fluctuates in magnitude and direction across measurements. It arises from various sources that doesn't follow consistent patterns kay so ang example ana niya kay kanang measurement precision ka inherent, inherent limitation in the precision of measuring devices or equipment can introduce random errors. For instance, kanang a thermometer might have a slight fluctuation in reading due its precision level. No siya. So, like, um, kanay, please kog next, Joy. O, kanay, for example, kaning sa kuan, randomly niya nagbutang sa solution. So, ang makita nato diri nga ang iyang scale dili exactly. So, ang sa kaning random errors kay mga human factors ani kanang variation kay when human takes measurement variation can occur due to the factors like reaction time or kanang interpretation of scales. For example, kanang different people might read gauge slightly differently or mistakes made during the data recording or entry, even with careful measurement, can introduce some errors. So, bisag unsaon na to pagka kanang paghinay-hinay sa pag-measure, like naayod siya kanang slightly nga errors, like dili yun siya precise o kanang accurate. So, that's all for the